Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm back being joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, and like always, Fluff.
Am I joining you? What's going on?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
Jimmy, if you want to head out, you're more welcome to do so. Until then, you're part of the conversation.
I'm just confused.
And that's the way we like
started. Bro, I had my wiener out and everything.
Well, good thing we're on Discord. Today's matchup is me versus...
This is for children. Put your wiener away.
Today's matchup is me versus Fluff. Fluff has brought back SS4 Vegeta, while I am playing AOD. Let's take it away.
Sitting down across the table from AOD is like going to the doctor's office and realizing that you're going to have to get a shot, and instead they wax your pubes.
What?
Oh, it's the worst.
Here's the thing. You're playing a blue ramp deck. So in my mindset, like, granted, you did send me the list, but I think in this moment, I'm like, man, he's just going to, like, negate, play big things, and push back. Is my entire mindset for this match.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan moving forward. That just about sums up the marching orders. But the problem is that you have the ability to build a wide board, and there's only so many negates that you can include in a deck that's a reasonable number of negates. I think I run like 12 to 13 negates in this deck.
Now, 5 of those negates are like really key negates for you. Ready to Rumble and Baby Gohan minion.
Yeah. And those cost a lot of energy.
They do, yeah.
3 and 4 energy respectively. So on top of like the Ready to Rumble, I have to make sure that you can't just play through the Ready to Rumble after I put it. Because like, who cares if you're losing energy if you're winning that turn?
Yeah.
Right.
I think one of the strongest things about AOD is that AOD just gets to play its own game every single round with no regards to what their opponent is playing. Where if AOD does what it wants to do, it's going to be completely fine no matter what deck they're up against. Of course, there's some outliers like Hatchiak, but even then, you just combo high instead of going wide. I think AOD is just one of those decks that it's all on your opponent knowing how to stop it and whether or not they can or cannot stop it based off of what they're playing, which is very few decks that just have built-in AOD denial.
It definitely establishes itself as the play, like, you have to play it around me, like they're not going to play it around you,
Yeah.
And so here, I didn't have a Turles, so I could not, get the Turles out to swing. I didn't have the Garlic Jr. to play another card, so I'm like, I just needed energy to be tapped so I can awaken and not waste that energy.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see you waste that Android 13 there.
Yeah, it's a big counter.
Well, here's the thing. In Fluff's deck, it only counters one card. And that's Baby Gohan minion. So like,
it's a pretty good card.
Oh, Heroic Prospect. I didn't think about that one. Yeah.
Which Heroic Prospect is kind of dead in this deck anyway because AOD is so low to the ground the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's stuck on the board this time. For my last match, so we get to show off Jimmy's winner card. Thank you again. Let me put this in my deck so I can play it.
I'm the people's champ. I'll share my wealth. Just saying. You hit me up.
You just
pay me.
You might be the PUD's champ, but you're definitely not the people's champ until you put that belt on the line.
Ooh. The belt is on the line. Show up. I'm
pretty sure I will. Next round.
Okay, well, we'll see about it. We'll see what you can do. But talk about this baby Janemba.
So we could see in action. Fluff did tell me to draw 2 cards, and then I immediately blocked his leader attack with it,
which is so much value.
So it's another instance. I asked Bancroft what the card did, and he was like offering and didn't mind telling me that it had blocker.
Well, yeah, I think I was trying to tell you offering on the play as you were asking me that.
I crit 1, or you draw 2. You can draw 2. Right. Yeah. Proof in the pudding that when you ask Bancroft,
if a card does nothing,
you can never trust Bancroft when it comes to asking him what a card
does. That was completely unintentional.
I would probably have played another card and tried to pop that Janemba or play around it to get my leader swing through if I had known that had blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that changes anything as far as like ultimately? No, I don't. But I did try to put the super combo on there, hoping that maybe he would give it up. At worst, he just wastes cards in his hand, comboing it out, and I'm okay with it because I'm planning on blowing his field up during my next turn, assuming I survive.
And one of the cards I comboed off was Bojack, just to pay the 1 energy to play it on my turn. That would have another swing without using any energy on my side.
Mm-hmm.
And this Bojack is so good.
Yeah, does Vegeta's effect get around this Bojack?
Because Bojack states it cannot restand until the end of their return. And this is why I use this Bojack against. Now, in this current build, that Bojack is only a 1-of. But if I were to take this deck to a tournament, obviously there's 2 more on my sideboard. Just go up against, if I'm going up against SS4, if I'm going up against Soul Striker.
Honestly, that Bojack is good against every single leader because it doesn't let your leader restand. So all you have to do is during your next turn, just pay 2 more energy and the leader stays locked down.
I do have to get the attack off of it, but yes, that is initially, yes, that's it.
Which is really rough for the Vegeta player.
Now here, I could have, we've already passed turn. I chose not to attack. I could have swung with Turtles to get the resources, but then I'm losing energy, which puts me back more than I want to. And Fluff's play, I was not expecting, but it makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have
already see it in hand.
Yeah, I don't have a choice but to do this, and it feels so bad. But I have to do it.
Well, that's for you in the situation. Like, Bobbity is the main issue here. It's what makes things cheap, so I get things out easier. I can only play the 3 drops as long as it's on board. So getting rid of Bobbity shuts this engine down.
Honestly, I didn't care about Bobbity. It was...
Well, without Bobbity, I can't flood the board anymore.
It's that Bojack. I don't care how wide your board is. It's that Bojack. If my leader can't restand, I stop drawing. So here I have to just blow the field up. And pass with no open energy on my side.
A little bit less dangerous in blue than in other colors, but scary against AOD with 4 energy.
Yeah. Yeah, extremely scary.
It only takes a couple cards on AOD's side just to build up back what they had. Probably less than 4 energy, to be completely honest.
So that draw could have been any better, though. Because I didn't have a recovery play. I didn't have a hat check in my hand. I didn't have a Bobbity in my hand. I literally top deck a Bobbity and was able to just play it and just go right back to a groove.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it really was.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Garlic Jr., it works on both turns, so you could just play the Garlic Jr. just to play another.
Yeah, it's just when it's played.
Yeah. So, like, out of just a couple cards plus your leader effect, you could have, completely flooded the board back to where it was before the -5.
Yeah.
And essentially just wasted every action Fluff made on his turn.
If correct, the card. So I discarded a super combo, and it may have been either Sitsubin or Max Kamehameha. I can't remember exactly. But the card I saw to me had so much more value, and that was Petrification, or as we're now calling it, Mafubification.
Mafubification, but
Mafubi-
only if you put it on top of your opponent's card.
So here, I had a double strike card in my hand, and so I was like, "Cool, I'm just gonna swing here. If he doesn't negate, I can apply the double strike to it and potentially do 2 damage to him." But then you negate, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll just swing with regular attack then."
Don't sound too disappointed.
I know going down to 2 against AOD is extremely dangerous because at any point now his unison is active plus the threat of Champa. I can't remember if there are any other double strikes in your deck, but I know that I'm critical. Like the sirens are going off in my head. Like you have to be completely careful. And I have a few lines of play here. I think I've got a blocker Vegeta that I could play that would let me ramp my energy up. But I only have a few negates in my hand, so I have to make sure that I pass with enough energy open to utilize the best of what I've got.
Do you play any non-blue cards in your list?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fluff-
So, like, you
Fluff's
could
the same
tap 6
set.
and charge all 4, right? And then maybe that's something, but still, that's a lot of energy for just one block.
Yeah.
I think both me and Fluff have the same percentages when you incorporate a deck that likes to charge from the top of your deck. You don't grab blue.
I don't even play an Overwhelm in this deck because I know the second that I throw a non-blue card, I'm just going to charge it off, or I'm going to hit it on the leader. Or
I don't either when I play SS4. I don't play a double striker either.
Yeah, I don't play a Champa or a Kai.
And here you got the charge off that swing. I wasn't going to combo. I think I only have like 6-ish cards in hand right now. And I think most of those are counterattacks, but which would just restore your leader anyways, you know?
Here I'm just trying to provide some kind of pressure, maybe clear the Brawly off the field.
Yeah, you've been a big advocate for this Bardock Ape, and I tend to agree with you. Like that card is so unexpected just because it can evolve on top of itself. Like even though I see it in your energy all the time, I still get surprised when you bring it out.
Yeah, I love this card. It's so good.
Go into detail what just happened. Your autos have already procced. They're on play autos, or when you do the whole thing from your energy autos. So Petrification doesn't turn them off. And I was like, took it back, and I was like, wait, I've already called it. We're just gonna let it be. So that's why
talk about how strong Garlic Jr. is.
Yeah.
What other card in the game can just search the deck and play a non-vanilla card straight from the deck?
Not many.
And not many.
I will say in this engine, and they've done well, Bandai in this sense, to limit the 2-drops, because it can only grab 2-drop cards. It cannot grab, I think, itself, if I recall correctly. So it has to either be the Super Combo, Android 13, or Turles, and Turles has Unique. So you begin to limit your options because sometimes you don't want to play Android 13 because you want to use that for the counterplay purpose. But getting the Super Combo, which has the counterplay, like your opponent drops 2 cards just to counterplay, is so strong. But I wanted the Turles for my following turn to have a Searcher. But no, it's just for 1 energy, 2 battle cards, and 1's a Searcher.
Yeah. Like Garlic Jr. is a busted card. Like if I were to make any suggestion to balance AOD, it would have to be Garlic goes to 1. I think that Garlic is one of the most powerful cards in the deck.
Mhm.
Or give it unique or limit 1 or something.
Yeah, limit 1 would be fine.
Because you could totally Garlic twice in one turn, you know?
Because like here you can see Bancroft has spent 2 energy and already has his field rebuilt to what it was before I blew the field up. And now it's back to his turn where he has 5 open energy. Basically, the world is his oyster at this point.
And there's Jimmy's second card.
Absolutely cannot afford to take the crit here, so I unfortunately have to let him take the draw too.
Mhm.
Here I do what I can. I wanted to get the Sensu Bean established. Maybe I should have played the Vegeta first and then Sensu Beaned on the second attack. But I'm just doing what I can at this point. And I know that this Vegeta does very little because he could just use the energy as a counter to kill me. So I'm at 2 energy. If he's got a Champa in hand, I'm dead either way, no matter what I do here. I expected him to drop the Unison, which it only blows up
The whole field.
my field.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, your whole field, yes.
Yeah. Which is so strong. Like, it is really strong when you consider how cheaply this engine plays that Unison.
3 energy, get the Unison board. Now it's a 25 double strike crit. And I come up to 40 with it.
Yeah. Like, this is why I think that AOD is the perfect archetype. There's literally nothing that this archetype doesn't do. It's got a really good counterplay. It's got a really good counter attack. It has a really good searcher. It has another really good searcher. It has a free offering target, which offering for free is amazing. It's basically pot of greed or crit damage. So, like, it's just such a well-oiled machine that unless you're spec'd specifically to beat it in anticipation for it, it's a really hard hill to overcome.
Oh, definitely.
And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind, just buttons up and on the screen while Fluff does the outro.
Yep. Bancroft got that one. Kudos to him. He deserves that win. Wasn't much I could do in response to that giant AOD field. But as always, read your cards, know your plays, let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, fluff out.